I want to tell you about the moment I almost quit learning Unreal Engine 5. I was about 6 weeks in. I've been putting in real time, not casual dabbling, actual focus sessions. I had a rough idea of the interface. I could navigate the viewport without panicking. I'd completed a few tutorials. By most measures, I was making progress. And then I tried to build something completely on my own. No tutorial, no step-by-step guidance. Just me, a blank project, and a thing I wanted to make. And I froze. Completely froze. For almost 40 minutes I opened menus, closed them, moved things around, undid everything, opened the menus again. Not because I didn't know what button to push, but because I genuinely couldn't figure out how to translate what was in my head into a sequence of actions that would produce it. The gap between I've followed a lot of tutorials and I actually know how to use this tool turned out to be enormous. And in that moment, sitting in front of a blank project, I felt it fully. And here's the thing. I almost concluded that the gap was about me, that I wasn't technical enough for this, that UE5 was genuinely beyond what I was going to be able to do. I didn't quit. Obviously, I'm here talking to you about it. But the reason I didn't quit had nothing to do with willpower or grit or any motivational thing. It was because I figured out something specific about why I was stuck. And once I figured it out, the next session was completely different from the 40 minutes of frozen confusion that came before it. That specific thing, and everything else I figured out along the way, is what this video is about. Here's what this video is. This is a personal one. My actual journey with Unreal Engine 5, the honest version, including the parts that were harder than I expected, and the mistakes I kept making before I figured out how to stop making them. But it's also practical. For every personal moment I share, I'm going to extract the specific lesson that I think will save you time or frustration if you're earlier in this journey than I am. Not vague. It gets easier. Encouragement, specific, actionable things I wish someone had told me before I spent time learning them the hard way. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear picture of what the UE5 learning journey actually feels like from the inside. Not the tutorial version, where everything works out cleanly, but the real version. And you'll have a set of practical tips that came directly from real experience rather than theory. Let's go through it. Before I walk you through the journey, I want to address something that I think is the biggest hidden obstacle for anyone starting to learn Unreal Engine 5. It's not the interface. The interface is complex, but it's learnable. It's not the technical depth. The technical depth is significant, but it's approachable in stages. The hidden obstacle is something that most learning resources never acknowledge, because most learning resources are designed to make the process look smoother than it is. It's the gap between tutorial completion and actual capability. Here's what I mean. When you follow a tutorial in UE5, and this is true of almost all 3D software tutorials, but it's especially pronounced in UE5 because the tool is so deep, you are building competence at following a specific sequence of steps in a specific context. The tutorial teaches you what to click. What it doesn't always teach you is why. The understanding that would allow you to figure out what to click in a different context with a different goal. And when you close the tutorial and open a blank project, you discover that what you actually have is a set of memorized sequences, not a mental model of how the tool works. And memorized sequences are useless in a new context. Almost everyone who learns UE5 hits this wall. Wall doesn't mean you're not technical enough. It means you've been building the wrong type of knowledge. And knowing that the problem is the type of knowledge rather than the amount of it, is what changes how you approach the next session. The first thing I did when I started learning UE5 was what everyone does. I found a beginner tutorial series. I sat down and I followed it, step by step, click by click. And for the first couple of weeks, this felt productive. I was learning where things were. I was building something that looked like what the tutorial showed. Progress felt real. But here's what I wish I'd understood in those first 2 weeks. I was spending almost all my time watching and almost none of my time doing. The ratio was something like 80% watching, 20% actively interacting with the software. And that ratio is backwards for the type of knowledge you actually need to build. UE5 is a tool that you learn by using, not by watching. Watching tells you what's possible. Using builds the muscle memory and the mental model that make the tool feel like an extension of your thinking rather than an obstacle in front of it. The tip that came out of this stage, after every tutorial section, every 15 to 20 minutes of instruction, Close the tutorial and try to recreate what you just learned from memory without looking. You will fail. Parts of it will come back wrong, or not at all. That's the exact information you need. It tells you what you didn't actually absorb, which is what you need to spend more time on. This single practice change, forcing yourself to recall and reproduce before moving forward, turn 2 weeks of shallow tutorial completion into something that actually built real working knowledge. It's slower in the short term. It's dramatically faster overall. This is the 40-minute freeze I described in the hook. 6 weeks in, first solo build attempt, complete paralysis. And what I figured out, sitting in that paralysis, was this. My mental model of UE5 was organized around tools and features. I know how to use Lumen. I know how to import assets. I know how to use the content browser. But my mental model was not organized around goals. I want to achieve this specific visual result. Here is the sequence of decisions that gets me there. Tutorial knowledge is organized around tools. Production knowledge is organized around goals. And building toward a goal requires goal-organized thinking that tutorial consumption doesn't automatically develop. The tip that came out of this stage, before you open UE5 for any session, write down, in plain language, the single specific goal of that session. Not work on my project. Not practice UE5. One specific, completable goal. I will place these 5 assets into the scene and rough light them using Lumen by the end of this session. That specific goal gives you a decision framework for every moment of confusion. Whenever you don't know what to do next, go back to the goal. Does this action serve the goal? If yes, try it. If no, ignore it. This sounds almost too simple. It changed every session after I started doing it, because it replaced, I don't know what to click with, I'm trying to accomplish X. So the question is, what moves me toward X? About 3 months in, I had a scene I was genuinely proud of. Visually, it looked exactly like what I wanted. And then I tried to move a camera through it for a cinematic sequence I was planning, and it dropped to 12 frames per second and became unwatchable. I'd built something beautiful that didn't actually work. And this is the moment where a lot of artists either give up or develop a deep anxiety about performance that makes every build decision feel fraud. Because if you don't understand why performance problems happen, you can't prevent them. You can only discover them after the fact, at the worst possible moment. What I learned, the hard way, through reading, through forum posts, through trial and error, is that UE5 performance is not an afterthought. It's not something you optimize at the end. It's a consideration that shapes every decision you make throughout the build. The specific things that were killing my performance in that first scene. I had imported high-resolution assets without checking their polygon counts. I had Nanite disabled on meshes that would have benefited from it. My lighting was using fully dynamic Lumen in a way that was more computationally expensive than necessary for a static scene. And I hadn't set up a proper level of detail system for objects that appeared at varying distances from the camera. None of these were obvious to me from tutorials, because most beginner tutorials work in small, controlled scenes where performance isn't a constraint. In a real production scene, it always is. The tip that came out of this stage, build a performance check into every session rather than saving it for the end. Every 15 to 20 minutes, look at your frame rate. If it's dropped significantly since your last check, you added something that's causing a problem. It's much easier to identify and fix a performance issue you just introduced than one buried in an hour of work you've done since. About 4 months in, something clicked that I can only describe as a revelation. I've been thinking about lighting in UE5 the way I thought about lighting in traditional offline rendering. Set up your lights, adjust their properties, render, see the result, adjust, render again. But UE5 with Lumen doesn't work like that. Lumen is a dynamic global illumination system. It responds to everything in real time. The light from a bright surface bounces onto surrounding surfaces. The sky bleeds into interior spaces through gaps. A light source moved by 1 degree doesn't just change the direct illumination. It changes every bounce and every indirect contribution throughout the entire scene. Once I understood this, once I stopped fighting the system and started working with it, my lighting transformed in a way that no tutorial had managed to produce. I stopped trying to manually control every bit of light in the scene and started designing the scene so that Lumen could produce what I wanted naturally. The tip that came out of this stage: study your scene's lighting behavior rather than fighting it. Open a new project. Place one directional light. Notice how Lumen bounces that light throughout the scene without you doing anything else. Move some colored surfaces into the scene and notice how the bounced light takes on the color of those surfaces. Spend one full session doing nothing but watching how Lumen responds to different conditions. That observational session will teach you more about working with UE5 lighting than many hours of tutorial watching.